Alfred Mangezvo and Murambiza say they are on course to harvest 6 tons of wheat per hectare. Their crop may form part of shipments exported to several nations that have made inquiries. That would boost both farmers' viability at a time they've been saddled with high input costs.
The farmer ends up with very little post-harvest. Our hope is that if we can open up foreign markets, we will become more viable.
If we export, the country can generate foreign currency and hopefully we will be paid in US dollars.
Government plans to pay farmers 60% of their proceeds in hard currency. Last year's wheat output was the highest ever in the country's history. This year, farmers are confident of doing even better. But wheat won't be Zimbabwe's only grain export. A 420,000-ton harvest, 60,000 tons more than the annual requirement, is forecast. Potential exports of Zimbabwe's staple maize have also been lined up.
We are going to be supplying and exporting about 40,000 metric tons of grain to East Africa, and I think about 10,000 metric tons of grain to Central Africa and Southern African countries who have made those inquiries.
According to the Agriculture Ministry, the 2.3 million 2022 harvest and stock from strategic grain reserves have left Zimbabwe sitting on a 600,000-ton grain surplus. Climate-smart conservation farming, expansion of irrigation infrastructure, and a surge in private sector funding have been credited for the turnaround of Zimbabwe from net importer to exporter.
Especially crowding in the participation of value chain players, the millers, the processors, the bakers, and so on, into supporting production and into supporting primary production, through compelling them to produce at least 40% of their respective annual requirements locally, and by supporting the local farmer, and through frameworks such as the joint venture framework, corporate farming framework, contract farming framework.
The government plans to increase land under irrigation to 350,000 hectares and scale up mechanization in order to sustain its food self-sufficiency. Farai Mwakutuya, CGTN, Glendale, Zimbabwe.